Greetings, my friends, and welcome to the first quarter moon episode of Collective Awakening Weekly. My name is Carrie Konyha, here to support your journey in spiritual awakening, healing, and empowerment. Now, we're starting off this first quarter moon with 5 celestial bodies in air signs. So that means that we have a strong air element signature happening this week, which I'm going to talk a little bit more about in a minute. But I do also want to mention that this does get a little bit of a balanced energy coming into the picture with the fact that the first quarter moon is happening in the sign of Capricorn, which is an earth sign. There's a little bit of a grounding there. And then if we remember from last week, Saturn finally went direct 2 days ago on the 10th. So that gives us a little bit of a grounding factor as well. So overall, my energy take on this is that while this is a time where we all have a lot of activity happening mentally, we're all thinking, assessing, planning, prepping, the Capricorn moon and Saturn direct does give us a little bit of a sense of beginning to get a little bit more anchored, a little bit more concrete with our ideas, a little bit more grounded. And while these energies are going to be unfolding yet over the next few weeks, with Mercury and Jupiter both going direct on the 18th, which is next Monday. We'll talk a little bit more about that next week. We're definitely over the course of the next several weeks going to start feeling like we can actually start getting somewhere, making some headway in regard to that which we are planning and prepping for during this first part of October. Harness this air element energy that we have available to us this week and apply it in the direction of researching, investigating, acquiring knowledge and information that's going to support whatever your intentions, goals, and dreams are that you're efforting towards creating or manifesting as we're coming into the next few months. And be patient. Remember that we are in the dark half of the year. What that means is that literally the days are getting shorter and the nights are growing longer between now and the winter solstice. The dark part of the year is more of a time of going within. It's a time of self-healing, self-nurturing, self-rejuvenation. It is a really good time to study, learn, refine creative skills in preparation for sort of bursting into action as we're coming into springtime. So while the energy that we have unfolding over the course of the next few weeks is conducive to us feeling like we are making headway in regard to that which we are planning and prepping for now, it's going to be unfolding over the course of the next many months. So rewind and remember what it was that you intended for yourself during the new moon last week and harness your intentions around that. Because as we are in this first quarter moon phase, whatever you intended during the new moon is going to be anchoring in this week. So however that's showing up for you personally, let that be what guides your focus during this time. With all of these planets and air signs this week, we do want to be on the lookout and take care that we don't slip into shadow thinking, that we don't slip into worry, fear, concern, uncertainty, or disempowerment around our goals. And trusting that in that grounded, methodical approach that Capricorn first quarter moon energy is shining in this week will enable us ultimately to make more headway, more effectively, more efficiently than we would if we're just sort of racing around ping-ponging with all these ideas that we've got going on. So grounding in those ideas might look like taking notes, journaling, bringing some type of structure to whatever your plans are that you're intending to implement over the next few months. On Friday the 15th, we have a nice trine happening between the Sun and Jupiter, which inspires expansion and growth. Jupiter is going direct on the 18th, so that energy of expansion and growth and it being inspired to expand and grow is going to become more prevalent over the course of the next few weeks as Jupiter is gaining momentum in that direct motion. Also on Saturday, we have a trine between Chiron and Venus. Venus is the planet of beauty, love, relationships, and Chiron is an asteroid actually that is connected to the archetype of the wounded healer. So this aspect on Saturday that's happening between Venus and Chiron creates a really prime energy for doing healing work around relationships. So keep that in mind for yourself. If you've got some space and time to design a personal ceremony that you could guide yourself through on Saturday that's specifically around healing relationships, the energy is really a great space for achieving deep and lasting results. With that, let's go ahead and see what additional sacred wisdom teachings and messages want to channel through. Today I'm working with this deck, which is called the Energy Oracle Cards by Sandra Ann Taylor. This is a newer deck that I enjoy working with. On occasion, I like the rich, vibrant colors, as we will see. So as always, I'm taking a moment to intend that the information that comes through today is coming from only the highest sources of guidance and light possible, and that everything is clear and in alignment with our highest paths and purposes collectively and individually, of course. So the first card that we're going to look at today, in alignment with this first quarter moon energy that we have going on, what energy is anchoring in? So take a moment to think back on that intention that you set for yourself last week during the new moon. And the messages that we're getting today are around what's anchoring in regard to that intention. And let's see what wants to come through here. I feel like it's this one. The World card. Interesting. So the World card is in this deck, it's assigned to the number 29, which is an 11, which we can boil that down to a 2 vibration. But we know that 11 is the number of self-mastery. So when I'm looking at the symbolism of this card, we have like a lone figure walking down a path that looks to be almost like a dock that goes out into water. And the earth is in the sky. So it's almost as if this person is in another realm, sort of looking up. When I see this card, the message that's channeling through is that we all have choices. Literally, we have the world at our fingertips. We all have the ability to experience, create, manifest, whatever our heart's desires are. All we have to do is have clarity around what our heart's desires are, set clear intentions around that, and choose to align our thoughts, our feelings, our actions in alignment with what those goals are, which will bring things into manifestation. So the energy that's anchoring this week is one of conscientiousness around our choices. Let's see how this energy is affecting us on other levels. Since we have that energy around relationship healing coming in this weekend, let's take a look at how this energy is influencing the relationship sector of our life. Okay, interesting. Storm warning. So this is like the Tower card energy in a usual tarot deck. You know, as we're on this journey of awakening, We have to come to terms with where we're at with relationships in our life, not just romantic relationships, but all relationships, friends, families, coworkers. That Venus in Sagittarius energy that we're in right now does inspire us in the direction of playfulness, adventure, curiosity, movement, aliveness, vibrance, truthfulness within relationships. So, the storm warning card I feel is coming in to help clear away or release us or liberate us from anything that's not a match to that Venus and Sag energy. Anything that's been a stagnating force within your relationship with yourself is really where we want to look first, because our relationship that we have with others ultimately is a reflection of the relationship that we have with ourselves. So be on the lookout for how this might be showing up for you this week. Let's take a look at health and well-being. Okay. The garden and the gate. So this is connected to the number 30, which is a 3. And I forgot to mention that the storm warning card is a 10, which is a 1. So ultimately, new beginnings come through clearing away anything that's old, stagnating energy and allowing yourself to embody the energy of playfulness, adventure, vibrance, momentum, forward movement. So the garden and the gate card shows an adolescent child who is within this very lush, lavish garden, but she seems dissatisfied. She's looking out beyond this garden that she knows, and she's curious about what lies beyond the garden. And this energy is what's coming in this week. As this card showed up in the reverse position, it brings in like a compelling to go ahead and take action to discover, explore, experience new vistas, new possibilities, new potentials, previously unexplored aspects of yourself, of life. And so the message is that we are the only ones that can compel ourselves forward in those directions. We are the only ones that can decide to take action in alignment with our curiosities. And in doing so, ultimately, we will gain an enhanced sense of well-being, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. So there seems to be a little bit of a theme between the storm warning card, the world card, and the garden and the gate that's compelling us out of stagnation, releasing anything that's no longer serving us, resetting our intentions, making conscious choices in alignment with what our truest, deepest ambitions and passions are, and for us to be the ones that are advocating for ourselves and taking those steps forward. The last card that we're going to look at today is how can we best harness these energies and channel these energies that are coming up. So this card coming up is called Contract. It's assigned to the number 6, which is the number of love, balance, harmony. This reminds me of the Justice card in a traditional tarot deck because of the scales. So this energy is all about honesty. When we look at how this might be showing up in regard to how can we best harness and channel the energies that are available to us this week, we have to be honest with ourselves. What soul contract did you make with yourself as you came into this earth? Do you feel like you're living in alignment with what your deepest sense of meaning and purpose is? Or are you wearing a blinder? Are you refusing to see what your own inner truth is? So this energy is reminding us that through being willing to be honest with ourselves about what our silent knowing is telling us regarding our reason for being here, tapping into your truest soul knowing, and then being willing to say yes to those things once and for all and align your actions and your intentions with those things, as the other cards indicated, is the best way for us to harness and channel the energies available to us this week. So honest self-evaluation, honest self-reflection, specifically around what your sense of true meaning and purpose is for yourself in this life. Now is the time for all of us to really embrace that core truth within ourselves once and for all as we're on this journey of awakening. Okay, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. All my love to you. Blessings. Stay tuned. There's more videos right around the corner, and I will see you in the next one. All my love.